So accrual-based system, inventory, why does it matter? Well, if you go back to your accounting days on the T-sheets, assets equal liabilities and owner's equity, materials, raw materials in your company, that's an asset. That pumps up your books. That makes your books better. It shows that you have a backlog. It shows you have assets at your disposal. It shows you have raw materials sitting there in your company ready to be used and move forward. It adds to your balance sheet and your financial sheet. It adds to your bottom line. So you should always be counting your inventory. Once a year is standard GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP principles, to count your inventory one time a year, physical inventory count one time. This is where you're going to do the day before. How do I want to do this? I'm going to walk you guys through what you should be doing, and then I'm going to walk you through what happened with us because we just had it the other day. We just did it on Monday. So what you should be doing is the day before a physical inventory count. Get all of your material sheets in for all the projects you worked on. I don't care if they started that project 5 minutes before they left and they took 1 square foot of aluminum out of your bin there. You're going to put it on a material sheet and mark it in for that project. Make sure every single piece of material that has been taken off the shelf and used for a project is entered into your system. Now, I don't care which system you have. Of course, I am biased. Square Coil is the best. You'll know why in a little bit here. But for the most part, any software, inventory-based or counting system is going to be easy to track them for physical inventory count. Get it all in there. Get all your materials. Get them inside the system the night before the physical inventory count. So now there's a black and white line in between what is actually raw material still sitting there and what is already spoken for on a project. You have a big, the C's have parted. There's only 2 ways. It's already spoken for, or it's just raw and it's not spoken for. That's it. It's the only 2 different ways you can have it. So when you come in the next morning, you're going to want to count every single item that you inventory. Any item that's on your floor that is a D&I, do not inventory. That means that we bought it and expensed it to a project already. If we didn't use it all and it's sitting there, great for us. We can use that again in another project and have some free money. But if it doesn't get tracked in your inventory system, don't count it on inventory day. Only what you track on a daily basis should be part of your inventory. Everything else should be expensed. That's a whole nother conversation. I won't get into real depths on that one, but you should have written a purchase order specifically to a project and expense that at the time of. All right, your inventory. Get your team together, groups of 2. Keeps everybody honest. I remember doing inventory days back in the day for a lumber company. We would start at 8 o'clock at night when the doors shut. We wouldn't go home till midnight, 1 in the morning sometimes until it was all done and perfect. That's what it took. It was rough. So do I like counting inventory? No, I hate it. It sucks. But it's necessary. So because it's not fun and because you're by yourself and it's usually after hours and it's usually late, you tend to fudge a little because who really cares if it has 20 square feet or 22 square feet? But the answer is you matter very much. It matters very much on exactly what your inventory is because it affects your bottom line. So teams of 2 keeps everybody honest. So you put everybody in teams of 2, you give them the sheet and say, okay, you're going to go count aluminum. You're going to go count LEDs. You're going to go count acrylic. You're going to go count vinyl. You're going to count all the different departments that your company has. They're going to go out and do a sheet and count. Usually takes them 2.5 hours to go through, mark each one correctly, put the right square footage or the right roll length or whatnot onto it. When they're done, they're going to turn that clipboard back into your controller or CFO. Then they're going to be handed a different clipboard for a completely different department to go count it again. You're going to want to have 4 eyes on your inventory, 2 sets of counts. Then you're going to compare them, and all the ones that are the same, you put them into your system. The ones that are different, you send a third team back out to count.